Hey, it is episode 4 of the Sporting Tribune Today. We're off and rolling, and joining us for a second time, the first person a part of the team to join the podcast for a second time. Congratulations. It is now the moment of truth because I have to introduce you. Joining us to talk about the World Cup and the final going down this Sunday is Chandrima Chatterjee. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, yay, redemption. Will I get it right later in the interview? We'll have to find out. But like I said, we're here to talk about the World Cup as the things wind down. I figured, hey, I don't want to wait another 4 years to talk to you again on the podcast. I'm just kidding. So let's get straight into it. And for all of us here in the US, kind of get your final thoughts on the whole performance in the 4-year journey that culminated earlier in the World Cup for Team USA.
Well, it's like an 8-year journey, really. Yeah, thank you. First of all, thank you for calling me Chandrima. Yesterday, someone called me Chandramini or something like that. And I was like, wow. So it's okay.
You can do that for days, I feel like.
So overall, I would say this was kind of a disappointing run for me. A lot of people are very optimistic about how the US men's national team did. And I'm not disappointed so much because they couldn't finish their goals on the pitch. It was more the lack of finesse that they showed overall as a team. You know, after their run ended, I'm imagining maybe some of you at least saw the headlines about, you know, the Geogate, right? The Reina Gate. Where Coach Greg Berhalter put in a newsletter, you know, the truth behind why Reina didn't play on his team. And I thought that was so, I mean, it was unprofessional, it was uncalled for. It was definitely locker room stuff. And it put everybody kind of in a bad position. You know, he put this out there while he himself was under scrutiny as a coach, you know, whether or not he was going to coach the team in 2026. So I was kind of like, this is like a weird way to redirect the conversation. And
you don't say, yeah.
Kind of nasty thing to do. He'd already, in my opinion, thrown the team under the bus before by like after the Netherlands game saying, oh, we just don't have anyone the level of Memphis, which is true, right? But actually, the irony is Reina may have been able to help in that, you know, specific way. And so, yeah, he's a young guy. There's a lot of teams out there that have young players that act out and are emotional or whatever, lash out, and to put it out there in the media like that, it's kind of sick in my opinion. And don't let it, like, it's kind of like distracting from the fact that Berhalter was outsmarted by Van Gaal, like one of the world's best. So in my opinion, honestly, like, yeah, we have the talent. The talent is actually out smarting their coaches at this point, it seems, you know, like we can't have, I hope I'm not controversial here, but we can't have an MLS coach coaching, you know, internationally trained players. If you want to play at the global level and competitively, you need to up your game as, you know, in your coaching staff as well. So yeah, I think it's time that problem be fixed. But otherwise, yeah, I think things are really looking up. I think we're kind of at a level where other teams that are investing in their programs are Japan, Morocco. I think those are ones that we're kind of on par with.
So let's get the negativity out the way before we get into some of the greatness. Well, the reason I say that is because my next question, I'm wondering if you just answered it, is Team USA's performance the most disappointing one out of all the teams and countries that competed in the World Cup?
No, I would say Qatar. Yeah, a lot more disappointing.
But I felt like that was expected, that they were the host and they were going to get their ass kicked, but
they got their ass kicked a little bit earlier than usually the host does, actually. So yeah, I mean, I would say for what the US has in terms of potential, I felt a little disappointed there. Yeah. Was it the most disappointing thing? No, I mean, overall, no, but it's high on my list.
Got you. Now to some positive stuff, because
Yeah.
it's been a weird World Cup. Some of the rounds have been great, some of them have been booty, the others been great. It's gone back and forth, which hopefully leads to a great final. But before we talk about that, I just want to know, what's your favorite moment in this World Cup that did feature like the Cinderella of Cinderellas?
As you know, I loved the Cinderella story. I have to say, this World Cup, it's like playing moral gymnastics for everybody. Just
Facts.
I feel like we've been through the ringer. For me, yeah, let's go to the positive, please. I would say watching Messi this last game against Croatia, when he is in his groove and the way he like threads the ball through the opponents, it's like he doesn't even have to look, he just knows where they're going. A lot of media covered how much he walks during games. I don't know if you saw that, but he's walking.
He's got
And
weird body language to his
no,
teammates.
he walks more than anybody, but he's doing that. I mean, apparently thinking and strategizing. He's playing a different game. He's out there playing chess,
Also trying to save energy, I would assume, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when he's it's just beautiful. Like when you saw him, I don't know if you saw that game, but you just watch the highlights if you haven't, and you'll see him smiling, like he just knows what's happening, what's up. So when he's like on fire, it's great. And that is like by far my most favorite thing to see at this point. And also Morocco overall, I think that story,
Hit me in
watching
the
them
heart.
win. Yeah, exactly. It won the hearts of like people all over the world, right? And it really captivated a lot of non-soccer watchers, I thought. It was just like don't forget they're playing for third place on Saturday against Croatia. Because I think that's kind of a weird thing that we do in the World Cup.
They do it in the Olympics, and we were talking at my radio station that it would be cool in football, like if there was a third place game with the two teams that didn't make the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of down for it. I'm like, instead of the Pro Bowl or things like that where people don't really care, you know what I'm saying? Get rid of the All-Star games and do this. Put a little stakes to it. We love stakes. Whenever there's stakes,
we do. We love stakes. We love money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I think though, in the thing that gets lost about that whole Morocco story though is that they've been like investing in the game since 2007, like heavily. They've been recruiting players that are born outside of Morocco since 2000, and now the dividends are coming, right? So it's kind of a lesson for all of us really that are seeking like short-term solutions, to really long-term problems, instead of looking for instant gratification. Like, is the US going to win in 2026? I mean, I'm going to say they are not. I don't know if I said that already, but sorry. But maybe like in 2 cycles or 3 cycles.
I've been hearing that all my life.
Have you really?
My life, I've been hearing that. We're getting there. Everyone's playing. It's crazy. I don't want to be Mr. Negative though. I know we're short on time, so real quick, I need you to kind of set the stage before you get into your prediction, because this is what I know.
Yeah.
France has got, I'm gonna mispronounce his name as well, Mbappe, or what? How do you pronounce his last name?
Mbappe.
That guy has a chance to win 2 World Cups. He's like 23 years old. All right.
I know.
Back to back. We haven't had that since when? Like a long ass time, right? And Messi's kind of like Chris Paul.
6 years. Yeah.
And Messi's never won before. So we talk about stakes, correct? These are the biggest stakes. So if you could set the stage and then go into your prediction on how you think this is going to play out.
I mean, it's beautiful, right? The Messi, the potentially greatest of all time, seeking his first World Cup, and Mbappe, the guy that's like breaking all the records, including Messi's. Like, he's making more money. Well, not more money yet, but he's at 100 million now and annually. And Messi was in his almost 30s. I guess he was in his 30s when that started happening. He actually is his teammate at PSG. So, I mean, that's something to be like, maybe outdone by this young guy that, like, he's just beating you on every level, and
you have to see him in the locker
eventually.
room later. Yeah.
But actually, like, I think it's really cool. Yeah, both Argentina and France are going for their third World Cup. And yes, Messi is going for his first. I mean, he's gone for it before, 8 years ago. And again, they were just beaten by France in the round of 16 4 years ago. So this is like a kind of like a revenge thing there. It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful game. Just, I am looking forward to it. I do have my prediction, and like, I don't know that you're going to like it even, but I do think.
No, just say it. We need to do it because this is coming out on Friday. It'll be the last thing we hear before this game. I know you're going to be working on the Sporting Tribune with some articles and getting everybody ready, but here on the spot, I need to see the prediction. What are you going with?
So I'm going with 1-1 because and it'll be decided in penalty shootout. I'm sorry.
I like this.
You like this? Okay, I'm not a shootout fan. I think Argentina takes it. Knock on wood. Yes, I'm rooting for Messi. He's admitted this, and it. This is his last World Cup.
Wow, it really doesn't get bigger than this. This is amazing.
Well, yeah, he's already proven. I feel like he's already proven he's the best player of all time. But the fact is, he needs to do this. It's kind of like the Dodgers need to win a World Series in a non-pandemic year. They need to do it in order to get that out of the way, right? Like, so that no one can ever argue with him again about whether he's accomplished everything. So yeah, that's my prediction.
And before we get out of here, I do want to talk about Grant Wall here for a second to close this out. And I enjoy this because obviously how important he was to soccer and bringing it to the forefront in the stories that he told, but he wrote outside of soccer. I don't know if you know this. I said it on the show on the first episode. I love the dynamic because I'm born and raised in Cleveland. And of course, Sports Illustrated, he did the cover story for LeBron, the chosen one. Yeah. It's in my garage. I went to go look for it last week, but I've had that magazine.
You have it
since I was 9 years old. Like, that's how important, like, that magazine that used to be up in my wall. Now I don't have it up in the office yet. It will be, but I love that dynamic of, like, me, not the biggest soccer fan in the world. Like, I've known Grant for so long because I have so much reverence to that moment and to that story, and him introducing this dude that we had heard about in the city, like, yo, you need to see him play. And then the other dynamic of what he did for soccer. So I kind of wanted to give you the stage here real quick before we close this out, to just talk about how you feel and, of course, the devastating news, and if you wanted to say anything about Grant.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it already. He started out basketball, and then he did basketball and soccer. He wrote about both, and then he went full-time soccer in the 2000s. So Grant was a friend of mine. He was one of my first mentors. He was so much more to me than I can ever express. And the thing about it is, he means like so much to so many journalists out there. He reached so many more of us than I think he even realized while he was alive. What I remember most about him was just how kind he was. Whenever he would call, it was usually me getting like a quote or getting his opinion on something I was writing, because I was pretty new. And I was scared, right? And I needed some sort of support, that like somebody telling me that I'm not insane. And he always went out of his way really to do that for me. He just supported, he supported the first soccer blog that I was involved with, Women United, from the ground up. And I think I will forever remember him for that, for his support of not only the women's game, but also female reporters. He was one of the first to speak with me about sexism in soccer, and whether it was in the locker room or in other settings. And he listened to me with an open mind and an open heart. And I know that he did that for a lot of people. So I'm devastated that he's gone, but I also know he lit that spark of creativity and justice seeking in, hundreds of us. So we will always carry on, Grant.
Absolutely. And thank you for that. I felt like we needed to talk about him and give him his due diligence. May he rest in power. Chandrima, as always, thank you so much. We look forward to the World Cup. Rest in power, Grant. I feel like I killed the moment, but I just felt like we needed to talk about him and give him his reverence.
Thank you. No, you know what? The other thing is he's going to be watching this game. I'm sure he's ecstatic about it. I can't wait for it to happen, because it's really two of the best in the world against each other. And I think it's going to be an incredible match. I think we'll have a lot of fun watching it. But don't forget third place also on Saturday.
Of course. And don't forget the Sporting Tribune Today for all our work. Moment of truth. Have to say your name correct for a second time.
Okay.
Here we go. I love how you can see me reading at my notes to make sure. It's like I'm shooting a penalty kick now. Will I make it or will I miss it? Chandrima Chatterjee. I said Jay.
You did it wrong again. You like set yourself up there. Like the moment you said it's like taking a PK, I'm like, oh no.
Chandrima Chatterjee.
Yes.
There it is. The Sporting Tribune Today continues right after this.